You got a cookie, Batman? Hey? What you doing? What you doing with the cookie, mister? You're not a barrier, are you? No. This was the area I cleared out yesterday that was just overgrown, and it was growing out as far as Batman was standing. Good morning. Happy 4th for all those people over in the US. Independence Day. I dug these out. I've done a second coat of primer on that side that I couldn't finish off yesterday. So that's now ready for doing the top coat. I've got to wait for that to dry. So while that's drying, I think I'm going to take the boys for a walk because this is going to take a while. Even though it's sunny, it's cold, so this stuff is taking ages to dry. When I come back, I'll get like a first coat on what I can, and I'll probably go upstairs, start taking the top rails off and removing the pickets in readiness for getting this up there. But beautiful sunny, even though it's cold, so I want to take the boys out. Take them out for a walk while we have fine weather, because they get so bored and frustrated when it's cold and rainy all the time. And so do I, quite frankly. Batman's been being a bit of a butt. He's been growling at Sam. I just had to rouse at him for jumping around in the truck, or trying to. Much better. Batman's starting to get a little bit nasty with Sam in the house, growling at him. And remember that cookie he was bringing down outside and went around the back of the shed to eat? That was Sam's cookie, not his. That's why he snuck out, and that's why he looked really weird on the stairs. So he knew he was going to get in trouble off Mum, because he'd already gotten in trouble off Mum inside for snapping and growling at Sam. Don't want that sort of behaviour. Kookaburras. Watch, as soon as I stop filming, they'll laugh again. Not exactly sure how many properties there are out this way. I know there's the one house right at the end of this road where we basically turn around, and there's 3 or 4, hang on, maybe 6 that way. You don't see them all though because they're off the road, but there's a couple of spots along here which I think are properties. Like what I'm walking past right now. I'm pretty sure there was a for sale sign on this years ago, and I don't know whether it's sold or not, but there's obviously no development on it. And on this side in the bush, I know there's a couple hundred metres back, this is what reminded me of this, there's a fence line that disappears down into the bush. And there's like a little trail next to it that heads off down that way. And back when I had, it was before Sam had my other 2 logs, and we went for a walk down there, followed the trails and went down to the rock ledges, and it just kept going. So I'm wondering how much of a property that area is, which part of the national park. I know the national park's at the very end, but the sound of the wind in the trees today is quite relaxing. We're just having a nice chilled walk today. We've made this a much steadier walk. I can feel that tweak in my back. My God, my voice. We used to always listen to podcasts whenever we go for a walk. And now, podcasts will be in my ears while I'm doing the work around the house just to keep me going. But out here, that's what I'd prefer to listen to. Okay, back from the walk. Undercoat is dry. So I'll have to, I'm getting changed because I did get a little bit of paint on these clothes and that was not good. I can do first coat of the exterior, see how that goes on. Having had 2 coats of the undercoat here, 1 exterior coat may be okay if I get a good coat on there. We'll have to see, especially with this cold. And then while that's drying, I'll jump up and get those hand railings off and start taking the pickets off. That way I'll know how many pickets I actually need. I have to just make sure the dogs don't go out on there until I get those pickets back on. seems the rot in this has transferred through to some of these because they're rotting right where they're touching the timber. That's an old one because I can still see the old paint. And you're going to need coil too. Oh, that's those pickets off. Oh, back to where I need to work to. Taken this one off because it was so rotten. Discovered this top cut rail, or top rail. There's a big sinkhole. A bit rotten on the end. A little bit of rot on the post. There's all my broken pickets. I'm going to go get a handsaw so I can take this piece out in sections rather than trying to take one long piece out because I'll probably drop it. You know when you start a job and it just seems to get bigger and bigger and bigger? That's what this is. As you can see, we've lost light. Still see sun there, that means the sun's somewhere that way. But, taking all my bottom rail out. This bit cleared for putting that first one in there. That was a lot of fun because the one of the screws had gotten stripped and wouldn't come out. As for the pickets, I've got 26 here that are they're still strong enough near the bottom. 18 there that are just trashed around the bottom, so they're going to have to be replaced. I've got to go down there and check how many have been thrown down there so I know how many I need to make. Probably more than that, so that I've got some spares for this. And I do think I need to replace this top one, that's why I haven't painted it, because we got this soft, mushy rot section so that's going to be right through soon. And it's also all softy woods joining to the post, and the post has got some soft spots, especially there, so I might have to get a brand new piece of hardwood and replace this section with some good strong half laps. I need to clean up, take this paint down like I've been prepping this, because the reason all these things rotted is because they were never painted where the timber was attached. So as soon as the moisture got in there, it just soaked into the wood. And that bottom rail was just, I mean, you can see it in pieces down there. That shattered when I dropped it down there. So, and there's my new rails. I'll do one more coat of paint on the tops and that'll be it. Some of the handrails, the ones that were joined here, they got rotten. So I'm going to have to replace the handrail that goes, the cup rail that goes here and here. I'm probably going to have to replace these two. So that's the remnants of the rails. I mean, look at that, just little pieces. Pickets, I've got 11 pickets there going just by the top shape, because there's pieces there. 11 there, 18 up the top. So that's 29 pickets that I definitely need. And I've got 26 that are and I only cut enough timber for 8 the other day. So let's see if I got some more timber. I might have to run down to school to use the saw better, because it'll be quicker. It's cold. I packed all the tools away. I gotta go and sweep off that deck. This is just covered in crap. I think I worked out I actually need to make at least 30 something pickets. I'll look around and see if I've got more timber. Packed up. That's what the deck looks like at the moment. It only has a top rail, and like we know, this one is a little bit soft in the middle. I've cleaned up all the crap off there. These have been 2 coats of primer and 2 coats of exterior gloss on them on every surface, so they're going to be sealed. I could get the first 2 up, but I want to do the last one at this end of the deck until I figure out what I can do with that upright post and see how much of that is soft, whether I'd need to cut out a whole stack of it, or whether I can need to replace a section of it, like doing half lap joints so that it's still being really strongly supported straight up and down. I just have to see how much is soft, because it could be rotted around the edge from where, because the 2 rails on this end, up and lower, I think was soft on the ends where they were near the posts. So this end section may need to be replaced as well. But I think what I'll do is I'll focus on getting these up, getting something done with that post, and then I can start thinking about the pickets, because like I said, I've got timber here for 8 of them. I need 30 something. I did have a look around in my timber in the back here, and I've got a bit of stuff that I could cut up and make some more, but not a lot of it. And my little saw, it does have a little bit of grunt to it, so I could possibly set up a fence. And if I dock all my pieces to just over 1 metre first, and then run it through so I'm not sort of got long pieces hanging over it. I could probably do it all here rather than having going down to work. Just depends on how much material I've got here that I could use. I don't want to waste 2 hours doing, and I say 2 hours because hour drive that way, hour drive back, that'd be the wasted time. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see, we'll see.